signed for a year before I made my debut. I just did a really good job of keeping it a secret that I was signed, and finally somebody leaked it or someone found out and decided to put it on the internet. But I was signed for a whole year before I made my debut. I was actually originally signed to be part of the X Cup, the last X Cup that they had, when they signed Sheikh Abdul-Bashir and Doug Williams when they were on Team International. They were supposed to be a Team Canada, and I was going to be originally slated to be in Team Canada as a kind of the character of the group, as a kind of a Canadian redneck guy. But it was actually kind of a blessing in disguise, because most guys that were brought in for the X Cup were just brought in to do that, and then they were never signed to be on any other shows after that. So when they decided not to have Team Canada anymore, Jeff Jarrett just told me, be patient. We've decided that, you're definitely more valuable as a character outside of the Team Canada rule. We're going to wait until we have a spot open for you that makes sense on the show, and then we're going to put you in there as a reoccurring character, as opposed to just a one-time knockoff in tournament. So I had to be patient, and I was patient for an entire year before they came up with the O.D.B gimmick and the idea to put me with her.
Oh, wow. Now, usually on Team Canada, of course, Tyson Dukes would have been there. Do you know who would have been on your team with you if they had done that?
From what I know, it was going to be myself, Tyson Dukes. I think they were thinking about bringing in Derek Wilde. Actually, my trainer Derek Wilde was going to be another member, and then they weren't sure about the fourth member. They were going to maybe just use someone they already had on the roster, whether that was Eric Young or Bobby Roode or Johnny Devine at the time. I think Johnny Devine, who wasn't in a feud or doing anything at the time, they were thinking about using him as a fourth member. I think they were going to already use a contracted wrestler. So the names that were being thrown around were myself, Tyson Dukes, and Derek Wilde.